I'm Jamie Dew, and this is a show of strength. Hey, it's Jamie here. It's Wednesday, September 25th, 2019. I am finishing my first cold brew of the day at home before I head out on a walk. It's the daily grind. Looks like a beautiful day outside. I'm looking out my window right now and I'm looking forward to my walk. My walk will culminate with a visit to my psychiatrist for the week, where I will update her on something that I'm going to update you on, which is been the cause of some conversation. And that conversation has circled around 100 days of change. Essentially, I've been asked, when are you going to tell us what you're changing? You've talked about 100 days of change for 2 days. You've been doing it for 3. So now on the 4th day, are you going to tell us all the things you're changing? Well, here's the thing. I am a work in progress. I am planning on changing things throughout the 100 days. There are not going to be 90 things that I set myself up to do right off the top. I'm going to incorporate some as we go. That being said, yesterday actually, I made a change to my medication. So let's talk about that a little bit. Currently, prior to yesterday, I take 3 drugs for my mental illness. I take a drug called brexpiprazole, I take a drug called Cymbalta, and I take a drug called Vyvanse. It seems to be an okay cocktail, and yet I just came through a really rough period of about 2 weeks. So things are still cycling up and down, despite the fact that we feel this is a reasonably good cocktail for me. The thing that is especially frightening, and I'm about to get pretty personal here, the thing that is especially frightening is suicidal ideation. Suicidal ideation is the idea of thinking about suicide and potentially preparing to act on it. That has been increased for me. There has been a pretty big uptick in that area. And I'll talk more about that on a future episode. But essentially, my psychiatrist, with the assistance of another psychiatrist that I went to for another assessment, came to the conclusion that my diagnosis might include a little bit of, I might be on the spectrum for, bipolar 2. Currently, my diagnosis is severe depression and anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. But there might be some spectrum OCD and some spectrum bipolar as well. So as a result, we have added lithium to the cocktail. Now, if you know about lithium, you know that it is a really interesting mental health drug. It's been around for a while. It's effective, but it's really fascinating in that the therapeutic dose is razor close to the toxic dose. So it's a drug that you have to really stay on top of, and I'm really nervous about it. You need to stay hydrated, you have to watch your salt intake, all these things, and it's hard on your kidneys. So there's all these different nuances that I have to pay attention to on top of, my regular mental illness. So it's a tough thing. So I started that last night, a dose last night, and I will continue to take a dose of that as we titrate up to whatever the therapeutic dose will be. And we'll find out how that works. So that's happening in 100 days of change. That's a pretty big change. And I'm frightened by it. And I'm going to keep you updated on it as we roll through this. I'm going to let you know how it's affecting me, if it's affecting me, if it's being effective, and so on. In terms of the change jar today, I can tell you that the change jar still sits at a whopping $8.61. I did not add any funds to it today or yesterday, so that's where it's at. If you're playing along at home, you can send me a message on the Facebook group and let me know where you're at with that, so that at the end of 100 days, we can make a nice donation to CAMH. That is really all I have today. Lithium. 100 days of change. It's a big deal. And I'll keep you posted on how it goes. Be well and stay safe. A Show of Strength is a movement where I encourage courage. By sharing my story and other stories that inspire me, I can show you what mental illness really sounds and looks like. Join the conversation and our community on Instagram, Twitter, and our Facebook group at facebook.com/A Show of Strength. And don't forget to subscribe, share, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.